The first glimpse of Ladakh from above. The plane descended, and below us, the barren mountains of Ladakh came into view. This was the beginning of an adventure. After a decent landing, I made my way to the hotel, taking it easy on day one to acclimatize. The air was thin, the pace was slow, and it was just perfect. The hotel I booked was the Sara in Leh, comfortable rooms, good food, and very good staff. In fact, the owner of the hotel helped me plan a lot of things during the trip. Well, the next morning I hit the road along with my driver. We drove along NH1, a road that goes through some of the most dramatic landscapes that I have ever seen, heading towards Zanskar. Most important thing to remember is on day one, you do nothing, and on day two, just move in and around Leh. This is National Highway number 1 that goes from Leh to Srinagar via Kargil. And then we reached the Sangam point, the incredible confluence of the Indus River and the Zanskar River. Truly a spectacular sight. Well, the Sangam point is located near the village of Nimmu, about 35 kilometers from Leh, on the Leh-Srinagar highway. The two rivers are sometimes distinctly visible at the confluence. Not at this time, probably because the water was a bit muddy. Usually the Indus appears a vibrant blue and Zanskar a muddy green. The location is also a popular spot for activities like river rafting, with the Zanskar River offering what's often described as the world's highest river rafting experience. Back on NH1, we also passed the famous Magnetic Hill, a place where the laws of gravity seem to be in a friendly debate. Frankly, I did not see any vehicles moving towards the hill due to gravity, but worth a visit this place. Also along the same route, one can and should definitely visit Shaurya Sthal, a beautiful war memorial. It's a place dedicated to the brave soldiers who have sacrificed their lives protecting this region. Walking through the memorial, you can't help but feel a deep sense of respect and gratitude for their courage. Our next destination was Nubra Valley, and the journey there took us over Khardung Pass. Again, very important to note that you should take this route only on day 3 after a nice 2 days of acclimatization and relaxation. For people who have altitude sickness, it's recommended they carry a medicine called Timox, and make sure if you're driving in a car, then you have oxygen cylinders as well. The hotels and the drivers will make sure that you have everything available. The sign at the top proudly declared it one of the world's highest motorable roads, and the feeling of being up there, surrounded by those massive peaks, was just incredible. The air grew thinner and the views more breathtaking. Now, one should not spend more than 10 to 15 minutes at Khardung because of the lower oxygen levels. Well, Nubra Valley's elevation is approximately 10,000 feet. So from Khardung, it is a descent, in fact, a 7,000 feet descent. And it will take approximately 3 hours for you, at least, to reach Nubra Valley. On the way to Nubra, there are lots of options which have recently come up where you can stop and enjoy some activities. When we arrived in Nubra, we were met with a wild, unexpected desert storm. The sand whipped around us, making the landscape even more surreal. In Nubra Valley, one should not miss visiting the Diskit Monastery. From its vantage point, you can see the entire valley stretch out before you, but all eyes are drawn to the towering Buddha. This colossal statue standing against the backdrop of the rugged landscape is a powerful and breathtaking sight. And now starts the most adventurous part of the journey, reaching Pangong Lake. Now there are different ways to reach Pangong Lake, but from Nubra to Pangong, the shortest way is to go via the Shok River route. But that route is full of challenges. Though we started strong, navigating through waterlogged roads, but after a while, the river became impassable. We had to turn back. But as it turns out, sometimes the best adventures come from a change of plans. We decided to take the Warila Pass instead. Thanks to the experience of my driver, and what a gift that was. The drive was even more scenic and beautiful. Finally, I saw it, the vibrant expanse of Pangong Lake. It was a moment I had been dreaming of. The water shimmered, changing colors with light. I spent the night there feeling completely disconnected from the rest of the world. I had booked a place in the village of Merak, which was very close to the Chinese border. Well, the Pangong Lake is 160 kilometers long, and two-thirds of the lake is with China. Merak village was one of the last villages in India, and the stay there was pretty comfortable, but the views were absolutely spectacular. Next morning, I decided I will drive. Finally got a chance. And what a beautiful drive it was. Along the Pangong Lake. The water of Pangong So is known for its ever-changing colors, and the early morning light enhances this effect. Do not miss the early morning view of the Pangong So. Expect to see the shades of blue from light turquoise to deep indigo, depending on the sunlight and the cloud cover. I haven't seen a more stunning view ever in my life. Well, the road back to Leh from Pangong So has to go through Chang Pass. This pass is known for its sharp curves, snow-covered stretches, and dramatic scenery, providing a thrilling experience for all the travelers. Although it's very appealing, I wouldn't suggest driving yourself on this route. Make sure that you have a driver, experienced driver, or if you're on a bike, make sure you are a part of a large group. Back in Leh, to cover a couple of things before we head back. You get a sense of relief looking at the clear skies and good roads. Of places like Hanle, Somoriri still to be covered. I am planning to come back to Ladakh next year already. I end my trip with a noodle soup, which is a popular quintessential dish in Leh. It's called a thukpa, a staple Ladakhi cuisine, enjoyed by both locals and tourists. Looking down from the plane, the snow-capped peaks and the glaciers were a perfect final image, a testament to the unforgettable journey I had just completed. If you enjoyed watching the video, like, share and subscribe. I will be back with another video very soon.